Most riders think buying a motorcycle is simple. Pick something that looks cool, throw a leg over, and you're done. But the motorcycle industry has spent decades burying information that would cost them sales. Today we're covering the 20 things you absolutely need to know before you buy, own, or ride any motorcycle. Some of these will shock you. And number one, it's costing riders thousands of dollars they'll never get back. Stick around unless you want to be the guy explaining to your friends why you can't afford to ride that dream bike sitting in your garage. Number 20, your fuel economy is a lie. Manufacturers love advertising those impressive MPG numbers. 65 miles per gallon sounds fantastic, right? Here's what they don't tell you. The EPA doesn't require motorcycle fuel economy testing. Unlike cars where those window stickers face federal scrutiny, bike manufacturers can basically make educated guesses. Real-world owners routinely report 20 to 30% worse fuel economy than advertised. That Yamaha V-Star 650 claiming 49 miles per gallon, forum members consistently see 30 to 40 miles per gallon in actual riding. You're not saving money on gas, you're subsidizing marketing lies. Number 19, first-year models are almost always a gamble. That redesigned model looks incredible in the showroom. It's also potentially a four-wheel disaster waiting to strand you. Manufacturers need thousands of real-world miles to discover problems that never showed up in testing. Stator issues, fuel pump failures, plastic cam tensioners that grenade at 12,000 miles. The 2017 Harley Street Glide suffered catastrophic overheating problems, fixed completely by 2018. By year 2 or 3 of any model refresh, let other riders beta test the manufacturer's quality control. Number 18, cruisers are secretly the most reliable. Consumer Reports data reveals something manufacturers don't advertise and sport bike riders don't want to hear. Cruisers require fewer repairs than any other motorcycle category. Just 15% failure rate by year 4. Sport bikes, 23%. Adventure bikes, touring bikes, and standards all fall between 15 and 23%. This seems completely backwards. Cruisers look old school, mechanical, almost primitive compared to modern sport bikes bristling with electronics and track-derived technology. But that's exactly the point. Fewer electronic systems mean fewer things to fail catastrophically. Simpler air-cooled engines mean fewer coolant leaks, no radiator problems, no water pump failures. Lower RPM operation means less stress on every component, from pistons to transmission gears. The irony, riders buy sport bikes for performance and accept the maintenance costs, while cruiser riders enjoy better reliability as an unintended bonus of buying the uncool bike. Number 17, the electrical system will fail first. 24% of all motorcycle repairs involve electrical systems, the single most common failure point across all brands and categories. Modern bikes pack electronics like TFT displays, ride modes, traction control, ABS, and heated grips into frames designed for simplicity. Every connector is a potential failure point. Every sensor adds complexity. That gorgeous dashboard showing you 17 different pieces of information, it's also 17 more things that can stop working. BMW's 40% failure rate, largely electrical gremlins from over-engineering. Number 16, belt drives aren't the maintenance-free dream. Belt drive salesmen will tell you they're virtually maintenance-free. They last 100,000 miles. They're clean. They're quiet. All technically true. What they don't mention, one stone lodged in the pulley will shred that belt instantly, and you're not repairing it roadside. Belt replacements cost $800 to $1,200 versus $300 to $500 for chains. You lose 9 to 15% of your engine power to belt flex. And changing final drive ratios? Expensive and limited. Chains require more maintenance but offer better power transfer, cheaper repairs, and roadside fixability. Pick your compromise. Number 15, parallel twins are taking over. Honda ditched the V-twin on the Africa Twin in 2016. They went with a parallel twin and the ADV world lost its mind. Now, parallel twins are everywhere. Yamaha MT-07, Triumph Bonneville, Royal Enfield 650 twins. Even Suzuki's V-Strom 800 switched from V-twin to parallel. Modern 270-degree crankshafts give them V-twin-like character with parallel twin efficiency. They're lighter, cheaper to manufacture, more compact, and make power more efficiently than V-twins. The engine configuration that dominated cruisers and ADV bikes for decades is quietly being replaced by the layout everyone dismissed as boring. Number 14. More cylinders doesn't mean more torque. Every parking lot bench racer will tell you twins make more torque than inline fours. They're wrong. A 1000cc engine makes roughly the same torque regardless of cylinder count. It's about total displacement, not how you divide it. The difference is where that torque arrives. V-twins make more torque at lower RPM because of larger pistons and longer strokes. Inline fours make the same total torque, but deliver it higher in the rev range with smaller, faster spinning pistons. This is why a 1000cc twin pulls harder from stops, but an inline four screams to 14,000 RPM. Same torque, different delivery. Number 13. Shaft drives steal your power. BMW riders love shaft drives. Maintenance-free, smooth, refined. They don't love that they're giving up 25% of their engine's power just to turn the rear wheel. That R1250 GS advertises 136 horsepower at the crank. Maybe 102 actually reaches the ground. Chains lose 2 to 4%. Belts lose 9 to 15%. Shafts, up to 25% disappears into heat, friction, and the mechanical complexity of right-angle drives. You're also stuck with torque at rise. The rear lifts under hard acceleration instead of squatting. Physics doesn't care about maintenance intervals. Number 12. Low mileage used bikes are red flags. That 10-year-old cruiser with 8,000 miles looks like the deal of the century. Low miles, adult-owned, garage-kept, barely broken in. It's probably a nightmare waiting to drain your bank account. Motorcycles that sit deteriorate faster than bikes that get ridden regularly. Fuel varnishes carburetors and gunks up fuel injection systems. Rubber seals dry out and start leaking oil from places you didn't know had seals. Tires age and crack regardless of tread depth. That date code stamped in the sidewall tells you they're 7 years old and need immediate replacement at $400. Batteries sulfate from sitting discharged and won't hold a charge. Brake fluid absorbs moisture from the air and turns into sludge that damages master cylinders. Coolant breaks down and corrodes internal passages. That low mileage means the previous owner either lost interest fast or couldn't keep it running properly. Either way, you're buying someone else's abandoned project that needs comprehensive resurrection. A well-maintained 40,000-mile bike that's been ridden regularly and serviced properly beats a neglected 8,000-mile bike every single time. Miles don't kill motorcycles. Neglect does. Number 11. Desmo valves are expensive theater. Ducati built an entire empire on desmodromic valve systems, mechanically controlled valve closure instead of springs. No valve float at high RPM, direct connection between cam and valve, racing pedigree from the 1950s. The engineering sounds incredible until you see the service costs and realize modern technology made it obsolete decades ago. Older Ducatis need valve services every 6,000 to 7,000 miles at $1,000 to $2,000 per service, and that's assuming clearances are within spec and don't need adjustment. Modern Testastretta engines stretch that interval to 15,000 to 24,000 miles, which helped but didn't eliminate the problem. Then Ducati released the Multistrada V4 with traditional spring valves and 37,000-mile service intervals. Turns out modern springs work perfectly fine at high RPM without any of the complexity or expense. Desmo was a brilliant solution to a 1950s metallurgy problem that hasn't existed since the 80s. You've been paying premium prices for marketing mythology and the privilege of more frequent, expensive maintenance. The system that made Ducati special is now the system holding them back. Number 10. Sport bikes cost 3 times more to insure. Insurance companies have decades of actuarial data on which bikes end up crashed, stolen, or totaled. Sport bikes dominate all 3 categories by margins that would shock most riders if they actually looked at the statistics. The result? A cruiser costs $500 to $1,200 annually for full coverage with comprehensive and collision. That same coverage on a sport bike? $2,000 to $3,500 annually, sometimes more depending on your age and location. One rider documented his experience switching from a Suzuki GSX-R 750 to a Honda Rebel 500. Same coverage limits, same rider, same insurance company. Premium dropped from $1,200 annually to $380. The bike cost $8,000. Insurance on his previous sport bike would have cost more than the entire motorcycle purchase price in just 7 years. Young riders pay even more. That 16-year-old on a GSXR might face $4,000 annual premiums, which exceeds the bike's value in 2 years. Factor insurance into your total ownership cost before buying, because that affordable sport bike might cost you $10,000 in insurance over 5 years. Number 9, Victory died despite being bulletproof. Victory motorcycles had a 17% failure rate, better than Harley's 26%. 80% of Victory owners said they'd buy the same bike again, the highest satisfaction rating in Consumer Reports' entire study. They built reliable, well-engineered American cruisers. Polaris killed the brand anyway in 2017. Meanwhile, BMW maintains 40% failure rates and sells bikes by the thousands. The lesson? Riders don't buy reliability data. They buy emotion, image, and brand mythology. Victory proved you can build perfect motorcycles and still go out of business. Number 8, the Japanese Big Four dominate reliability. Consumer Reports surveyed over 11,000 riders about 12,300 motorcycles purchased between 2008 and 2014. They asked about repairs, failures, and problems over 4-year ownership periods. The results aren't even close and haven't changed in subsequent surveys. Yamaha, 11% failure rate by year 4. Honda and Suzuki tied 12%. Kawasaki, 15%. Then there's everyone else struggling to compete. Harley-Davidson, 26%. Triumph, 29%. Ducati, 33%. BMW, 40%. Can-Am trikes, 42%. If you want a motorcycle that actually works consistently without surprise dealership visits, buy Japanese. If you want character, heritage, exotic engineering, or German refinement, prepare for significantly more time at the dealership explaining problems to service writers. The Japanese manufacturers prioritized reliability over character decades ago and never looked back. European manufacturers prioritize passion over dependability. Both strategies work, just for different riders with different priorities and different repair budgets. Number 7, modern valve adjustments cost over $1,000. Remember when valve adjustments were a Saturday afternoon project with a feeler gauge, some wrenches, and a 6-pack? Those days are dead for modern motorcycles. Current bikes use shim under bucket valve systems that require engine teardown just to check clearances, let alone adjust anything. The Indian Scout needs 6 hours of shop time at dealership labor rates, over $1,000 before any actual adjustment happens. If shims need replacement, add parts costs and more labor. Aprilia RSV4 owners report 20,000-mile services hitting $1,700 with valve work, and that's at independent shops. Dealerships charge more. That doesn't include oil changes, brake fluid, coolant, or any other routine maintenance. Even Honda Africa Twins and Yamaha MT-07s require significant disassembly for valve checks. Your modern superbike or adventure bike is a maintenance black hole that makes Ducati Desmo service look almost reasonable by comparison. The trade-off for high performance and emissions compliance is accessibility disappeared. Either learn to do the work yourself with specialty tools and patience, or budget seriously for professional service. There's no middle ground anymore. Number 6, BMW GS bikes are the Harley of adventure riding. BMW invented the adventure bike category with the R80G/S in 1980. They've dominated sales ever since, despite having a 40% failure rate that would sink any other brand. The current R1250 GS weighs over 550 pounds fully fueled, costs over $20,000 with basic accessories, and had an NHTSA recall for gearbox input shafts breaking while riding, potentially catastrophic mechanical failure. Owners buy them anyway because everyone else has one. Ewan McGregor rode one around the world, and looking the part at adventure bike meetups matters more than actual capability. Honda's Africa Twin costs $6,000 less, weighs 70 pounds less, proves more reliable based on Consumer Reports data, and works better off-road due to lighter weight and better ground clearance. but it doesn't have that BMW badge or the cultural cachet of the GS. Forum discussions reveal owners switching from GS to Africa Twin and reporting better reliability, easier maintenance, and improved off-road capability, but missing the BMW ownership experience and community. You're not buying a motorcycle, you're buying admission to a club, a lifestyle, and an image. The actual motorcycle is secondary to the brand story. Number 5. Inline fours are deceptively beginner-friendly. Every experienced rider warns beginners away from inline four sport bikes because of their power and performance capabilities. They should be warning them away from V-twins instead. The conventional wisdom is backwards. Inline fours make less torque at low RPM, which means they're significantly more forgiving when new riders mess up clutch control pulling away from stops. V-twins deliver massive torque right off idle, overwhelming inexperienced riders. New riders panic when they feel that instant grunt, grab too much throttle or dump the clutch, and either stall from fear or launch uncontrollably into something expensive. A 600cc inline four feels soft and manageable at 3,000 RPM, where most street riding happens. A 650 V-twin wants to rip your arms off at the same engine speed with instant throttle response. One rider documented his experience learning on an SV650 V-twin versus friends learning on CBR 600s. He struggled with jerky starts and stalls while they progressed faster on supposedly more powerful bikes. The bike everyone calls beginner-friendly based on power numbers is actually harder to learn smooth operation due to torque delivery characteristics. Power isn't the problem, torque delivery is. Number 4, Can-Am trikes are reliability disasters. Can-Am Spyder trikes look futuristic and cool. They market themselves as safe alternatives to motorcycles for riders who want stability without learning to balance. Progressive Insurance and other companies sometimes offer lower rates than sport bikes. They're also the least reliable vehicles. Consumer Reports measured at 42% failure rates within 4 years. Nearly half of all Can-Am owners report serious problems requiring repair or service. Compare that to cruisers at 15%, Japanese sport bikes at 23%, or even BMWs at 40%. 2 front wheels, automotive-style steering, electronic stability control, and ABS apparently don't translate to automotive reliability standards. That Spyder costs over $25,000 for base models and climbs past $30,000 with accessories. You're paying supercar money for worse reliability than a 20-year-old Harley-Davidson that's been sitting in someone's garage. Forum members document transmission problems, electrical failures, suspension issues, and mysterious error codes that leave them stranded. If you want 3 wheels for stability, buy a Honda Goldwing with a professionally installed sidecar, better reliability, proven durability, and actual automotive engineering quality. Number 3, comfort matters more than performance. Consumer Reports found something that completely contradicts manufacturer marketing priorities. Comfort ratings track most closely with owner satisfaction scores. Not horsepower numbers, not top speed capabilities, not even reliability statistics or brand prestige. Whether the seat hurts your tailbone after 2 hours of riding matters more than whether you can hit 150 miles per hour or carve apex speeds that impress track day instructors. This explains seemingly contradictory satisfaction data. Harley maintains 72% owner satisfaction despite 26% failure rates. They build comfortable bikes with supportive seats, relaxed ergonomics, and low vibration. Victory achieved 80% satisfaction with 17% failure rates, comfortable and reliable. Ducati owners suffer through 33% failure rates, but still love their bikes despite discomfort being part of the Italian sport bike experience. Your motorcycle needs to feel good for the entire 3-hour ride to your destination, not just the first 30 minutes leaving the dealership while everything's still new and exciting. Suspension that bottoms harshly, seats that create pressure points, handlebars that force uncomfortable wrist angles. These problems matter more than spec sheets suggest. Test ride any bike for at least an hour before buying. Number 2, location determines insurance more than age. Insurance companies charge premiums based on risk calculations using decades of actuarial data. Young riders pay more because statistics show higher accident rates. A 16-year-old pays $1,042 annually, while 40-year-olds pay $571 for identical coverage. That makes sense, and everyone expects age-based pricing. But geography matters more than most riders realize when shopping for bikes. Montana riders pay $170 annually for full coverage. Texas riders pay $1,891. That's a $1,721 annual difference for the exact same coverage on the exact same motorcycle with the same rider profile. Traffic density affects accident frequency. Urban theft rates drive comprehensive coverage costs. State insurance regulations mandate minimum coverages and allow or prohibit certain rating factors. Weather patterns influence claim frequency. You can't change your age, and aging out of high-risk categories takes years. But you can factor regional insurance costs into decisions about where to live if you're already considering relocation. Though basing your entire life around motorcycle insurance rates probably indicates concerning priority problems. More realistically, if you're shopping for a bike in a high-cost state, get insurance quotes before buying to avoid surprises. Number 1. The average motorcycle repair costs just $342. Here's the number that matters most, and that the entire industry desperately wants to bury. When Consumer Reports asked over 11,000 motorcycle owners about actual repair costs over 4 years of ownership, the average motorcycle repair bill came in at just $342. Not thousands of dollars. Not enough to justify expensive extended warranties or obsessing over failure rate percentages. Not enough to avoid buying the bike you actually want because you're terrified of repair costs. Even better news, 45% of repairs incurred zero out-of-pocket expense, either covered under warranty or fixed by owners themselves with basic tools and internet tutorials. The motorcycle industry, especially dealerships and extended warranty companies, terrifies potential buyers with visions of catastrophic repair bills requiring second mortgages. The real costs of motorcycle ownership come from insurance premiums that run thousands annually, depreciation that erases 20 to 30% of purchase price in year one, and optional upgrades like exhaust systems and suspension that riders convince themselves they need. Mechanical repairs? They're almost rounding errors in the total cost of ownership. Buy the bike you want. Budget appropriately for insurance and depreciation. Don't let fear of repair costs prevent you from enjoying motorcycling. Speaking of myths everyone still believes, we've got an entire video breaking down the 20 biggest lies the motorcycle industry keeps repeating. First-year models are fine. Motorcycles save money on gas. More cylinders mean more power. We destroy all of them with actual data. Check out 20 motorcycle myths that everyone still believes, but are totally wrong. Link in the description. Because knowing what everyone gets wrong about motorcycles might be even more valuable than knowing what they get right.